Hello, and here we are talking about another reference vlog. So far we're not going really well, but today's vlog is another Ghibli one, so I'm always excited about Ghibli. The reference vlogs are basically meant to give me time and do activities that sort of loosely inspired by a certain reference point. And today one is actually there is a clue for that. So today we're doing Kiki's delivery service. Anyway, I really wanted to share a particular picture with you guys from this. My dress up today is inspired by this because this is not an official image, or it didn't quite make it, but it's Kiki in pajamas. And I was like, I have pajamas that are like that, literally like white blobs on pink. So here we are. So here we are. Let's get started.
The story begins with a girl and a perfect weather to leave home and embark on a new journey. As I started this vlog, I was also job hunting. It was a perfect coincidence. The story is about independence and finding your skills. And in the end, aren't we all just learning to fly? I have my Kiki plate and I have my Gigi towel, and I wanted to share a tea that's supposed to like flower when you put it in water. So it's supposed to slowly like open up. It's like a flower bud. In the taste wise, it wasn't to my taste, I bet, but it was an experience of its own. At the same time, I also picked the cup with the cats specifically to reference to Kiki, because we did see a cat cup in the shop. I was journaling about my own fears of fresh start.
Tickets to that sold-out show. Message now. Your subscription's been suspended. Update your payment details.
Final warning. To receive your package, pay the fee immediately. Mum, I've had an accident. Please send money.
There's been suspicious activity on your bank account, and I need a few personal details. Fraud is getting more sophisticated. Always stop, think, and check.
Let's go on to the next stage of playing with mixing something. And I wanted to play, there is this company called Our Hands, and we had a set to make your own watercolor paint. So I wanted to test that and have a little bit play with mixing and, you know, making something of own in a sense. Yeah, it's very messy process. The saddest part that I did only manage to make these paint. And then I put them in these little containers, but I was a bit preoccupied to actually test them with the same filming. And when I returned to test the paint, it was actually molded. What is more lovely than the Kiki's original house? I have seen so many videos of people drawing this house. It has this like subtle pink vibe for some reason, and overgrown with flowers and overgrown with greens, and it's absolutely an inspiration. I wanted to take this inspiration of this house, overgrown and lush, and make something of a miniature. I have a old miniature from that I built on a stream that was a coffee shop, and coffee shops absolutely remind me of Kiki, and I thought it was a brilliant opportunity to use it as, you know, as media, let's say media for this inspiration. This is the finished painting, and then we have a look of the coffee shop that I made, the miniature of a coffee shop. That's obviously boring, bland, and original set. And there was some little newspapers inside, and I printed the two pictures of that I already painted and made them into commercials. And obviously the Kiki sign and another sign to say Kiki's Potions. So, you know, I wanted to make it as much Kiki in any sense. Oh, there was also the baskets with these corns, and I wanted to make some sort of flowers with them just to not waste anything that I already have. Here I am fixing on the sign with a sticker. Lovely. This is me updating the little journals. I thought I'd leave the happy times, but I'll cover the other side of the news, which I think were with some human faces, which kind of ruins that illusion of Kiki's world. So here we are. I put one of the commercials on there. Lovely, but I still left the happy times because it sounds happy. And then, yeah, we go into this basket there as per original. Lovely. And then I did the other one. There was like, I think on one side it was like a travel part. So I put the on, and the other side again had some sort of, I think it could have been health articles. So I put on another commercial of Corico City. hopefully, to fulfill that travel commercial side. Yeah. And here was the final look. I made some of these paper flowers in baskets just to make it look lush. And again, the symbols. I could have changed coffee time, but I thought that's fine. Yeah. I never actually fixed lights on this miniature, so even though we are glued in, but I didn't put the batteries in to make it work. So here we are. This is just a little bit of an update. Made another Kiki inspired miniature um, of little things like a picnic. Kiki's picnic. I don't know why. I made a little radio, jam, bread, and a slice of bread, and tea with a spoon. I think it's cute. I added flowers, last minute edition. I made a reference of vlog stamp card, and you collect little stamps as you watch these vlogs. Link in description. I never realized that the bakery that Kiki was living in is called Gucciocchi Pagna, that it actually had a name, and after I rewatched it, I was actually noticing a lot more. So I decided to bake some cookies. Not because it's related to Kiki in any sense, but I was really much inspired by one of the shops that had preserved recipes in jars. So my plan was to make a jar because it just felt so fitting for general vibe of it. I put in an old coffee jar, washed out. I put dry parts of the recipe, and also I used to have this Kiki deluxe box, and it came with recipe cards, and I thought, perfect, I'll write it down. It was not as much cookies as it was like coconut bites, I guess. But I thought it was something that actually has lots of dry parts, including coconut, dry coconut, and it can be, prepared for the future use. I heard that such preserved recipes, let's say preserved baking goods, last for about 3 months. In the good condition, 6 months even. So it was just nice to be able to do it like in 15 minutes next time. And these cookies actually just bake like 10 minutes or something, very quick. This is a very, very easy recipe. I put it on a Kiki recipe card, which is adorable. If you can see, that's coconut. So about 90 grams or 1 cup of coconut drizzle, 1 cup of flour, and there's like tiny bit of sugar. And I love how it says just follow your heart and keep smiling on this card. Love it. So here we are. Lastly, I also wanted to make some bread. I never made like twisted bread or really any bread, so it was my first time making bread. And yeah, this is me mixing yeast and all the little goodies, and I was really happy. And making, leaving things to rise and then making bread. And here are my little lumps. So I tried to draw Gigi. This is just like a lump of bread with a ribbon. Yeah. Another ribbon. Ribbons. Yeah. And just some other cupcakes that are more like... Oh, you can see it's on my Kiki plate. You can actually see Kiki's head there. But these are more just inspired by chocolate cake, and it's just like chocolate, black and white for a reason. And I just love stars. And I'm not good at drawing on cupcakes. So here we are. Filming vlogs makes me look for exploration. Kiki lives in Koriko, a harbor town. We have marina, so I decided to have a walk. This little church tower also had a clock on it, so it was some reminiscence to Kiki. I don't want to get the car or anything. It's like 2 separate things. Come on, Keith. It's so windy. Am I on the wrong camera is the question, because... We also found an odd restaurant to try out. Al's greeting at the door. It had a peculiar decor. The food was good, and I brought Kiki's book with me.
I did read Kiki's delivery service. I'm still currently reading, but there is nothing as magical as this book, and I feel like it has to come into this video. Okay. Kiki's delivery service was inspired by one of my daughter's drawings. It was a picture of a witch flying through the sky, listening to radio. Musical notes danced around her. It reminded me of photos of New York City from bird's eye view, and I've seen in Life, an American magazine. They were beautiful images, and I felt that there was a story there. If I wrote about a witch like the one my daughter drew, I could see the world through the eyes of a bird. I knew I could fly as an author because writing fiction made me feel as though I had wings. I chose to make the protagonist witch a 12-year-old, just like my daughter at the time. That's how Kiki's delivery service got its start. Then she also writes, Kiki's magic is as close to normal as possible. It's everyday magic. She's a witch, but she's also a perfectly ordinary girl. She has the same worries, disappointments, and joys as anyone else. So I knew readers around her age would relate to her. And as I continued writing Kiki's story, I realized that even if you can't fly through the air like Kiki, you have your own unique power that is equally important. It's wonderful. And I want to read an intro so you understand how wonderful this book is. Once there was a little town sandwiched between a deep forest and gentle grassy hills. The town was built on an easy southward slope. Its roofs, the color of dark slices of toast, all in a row, clustered in the center of town near the train station, where the town hall, the police station, the fire station, the school. It was normal town, one you could find anywhere. But if you paid close attention, you'd find things you wouldn't usually see. For instance, silver bells hung from the tops of tall trees. Even when it wasn't storming, these bells sometimes made a racket with their ringing. Then the townspeople would turn each other smile, saying little Kiki must have caught again. It's just such a happy vibes, honestly.
You're just excited about your cat bag. That's okay.
Right, so I tried to do some felt art. So this is the felt, and I'm really bad at sewing, but I made a little Gigi. I wonder if I should make eyes or not.
Look, I think this job offer has come at the best time. You and I have talked about we want to go and move overseas. These guys will pay startup costs.
I thought it would be nice to visit a local aircraft museum because there's a lot of aircraft in Kiki. However, similarly like I did for Totoro with Transport Museum, but however, didn't quite play with that plan, so we didn't get to go to one. But flying was quite an important part in Kiki, so I wanted to do a little thing of something. So I ended up just painting a painting in my sketchbook, which was of Kiki or another young witch flying among the firework, and you can almost imagine that fireworks going into your ears and like heart racing and that excitement of a flight. It was much better idea and a sketch than an actual outcome. I tried to, as you see, I tried to put some glitter in it as well to show that shininess of fireworks. I did share this already. Similarly, I found that a painter was such a prominent character in Kiki that it was a must to include some sort of painting. And at the same time, I did a tree painting for Totoro, so I thought I'll do another sort of loose, more my style, a little bit less of reference painting. This one was sort of a harbor little town.